God.
This is God.
What's up, guys? The 1980s were an explosion of practical effects, slashers, VHS, gore, and some of the greatest horror movies ever made. Today, I'm counting down my top 50 horror movies from the 80s. So pop some popcorn, get a drink, and let's talk some 80s horror. So coming in at 46 is Maniac Cop from 1988. A deranged ex-cop rises from the grave to kill the innocent, the guilty, and anyone in his path. He's unstoppable and dressed like he's still on duty. You can't go wrong with Bruce Campbell and Tom Atkins in the same movie. And a killer in a police uniform, that's just scary in itself. The idea that you should be able to trust the police and everything. And I do love the New York cold atmosphere. It does have a creepy vibe to this. I think it kind of loses tone in the third act a bit. It kind of goes off the rails for me a little bit, but for the most part, I love and I dig the vibe they're going with here. We're almost tipping the scales of action territory here. I haven't seen the sequels, but this one I really enjoyed, but does have that great slasher energy to it as well. Kicking off at number 45 is Shocker from 1989.
Yeah. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Wes Craven gets wild with a TV-obsessed serial killer who gets the electric chair and comes back as pure energy to possess people and murder from inside your TV. Shocker feels like Wes Craven's thrown everything in the mix here, everything at the wall, and seeing what sticks. And that doesn't all stick, but it is really fun to watch. I mean, I actually like the first half of the movie when the tension's there and Horace Pinker's at his scariest. And it kind of goes out off the rails after he gets electrocuted, but it turns into something that's very fun. And I could still really get a good time out of this movie. But I thought the first half was really, really scary in this. I really like the monologue he gives before he gets electrocuted. I mean, he's scary there, man. This is an intimidating character, right? But if you like some campy, cheesy fun, but you like a mix of tension and a really good iconic character, then you'll love Shocker. Coming at number 40 is House from 1986.
Roger, you hit like a little girl.
A horror novelist moves into a haunted house to work and heal only to discover portals to another dimension, ghost soldiers, and undead monsters. This movie is all over the place. It's got horror, comedy, war trauma, it's a creature feature, and I love it for that. If Evil Dead had a cousin that took too much acid, it would be House. But some great practical effects in here. There's some good jump scares. One terrified me as a kid. It's when the woman comes in the purple dress, and then she comes up as this big monster, fat monster, gooey creature kind of thing. That always terrified me when I was a kid. I just love how this house acts like this portal to another dimension. And one of the best posters ever with the hand. You know, I think it's ringing the doorbell. It's great stuff. Coming at number 39 is 10 to Midnight.
You sick son of a bitch.
I am sick. I am sick.
Charles Bronson versus a serial killer who murders women naked. It's a police procedural with slasher DNA and full exploitation vibes. Charles Bronson treats this one like Death Wish 6, but it really works. It really feels like a slasher wearing a detective's skin, like watching a detective show. But the ending goes full on slasherness crazy, where he's killing all those women, he's running down the streets at the end. Bronson takes care of business, boom, shoots the guy at the end. But I do like this one, man. This one is got some good things to say in it at points, where Charles Bronson's the old seasoned detective, his partner's the young detective, and Charles Bronson plants some evidence and to put this guy away because he knows he's going to kill and they just can't catch him. He just wants to get this guy behind bars as fast as he can. So he goes against his own moral code and everything and sacrifices his whole career. It sparks a lot of good conversation about justice and the law and, you know, is this cop sacrificing everything just so he won't kill anybody else. So I like it for that. Coming in at number 38 is Halloween 2.
Get away from him! But he stopped breathing! No!
Picking up right after the original, Michael Myers stalks a hospital while Dr. Loomis yells about evil. This one's bloodier, colder, and has the legendary score. Well, it's not Halloween 78, but it's a really, really good sequel, and I've grown to love it over the years. I think Loomis is top-notch in this. I think Dick Warlock is fine in this. You know, the mask kind of fit his face differently, so he looks a little differently. I'm good with him in this. I prefer Nick Castle, but I did like Dick Warlock in this. It's too bad Jamie Lee Curtis is sidelined through most of this movie, but there is like a lot of tension at times in this movie where it's really reminiscent of the first movie, and I like how it starts right away. And it is more slasher, you know what I mean? Friday the 13th ripped off Halloween, but then Halloween 2 kind of takes, Friday the 13th is working with the, you know, straight up slasher, more gore, and it worked for them here. In the end, Firewalk, crazy good. I hope you're really enjoying the video thus far, guys. My name is Jason. I am your host for Backtrack Cinema. So please like the video, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. It's absolutely free, and there'll be lots more content coming up. Just trying to really grow the channel, guys. So with further ado, let's get back to the ranking. Coming at number 33 is Little Shop of Horrors from 1986.
Feed me Seymour. Feed me all night long. That's right, boy!
A nerdy florist raises a man-eating plant that sings and craves blood. Musical horror meets dark comedy with practical effects to die for. I've always loved Little Shop of Horrors. This has got some of the greatest comedians in it. We got John Candy and Steve Martin and Rick Moranis and all sorts of legends here. Audrey 2, the man-eating plant, is awesome. Very, very funny. The musical acts are awesome. The songs are great. I just love the musical score in this. The dentist scene with Steve Martin and Bill Murray is absolutely priceless. When this one guy just gets off on giving pain, and Bill Murray loves pain, so it is so amusing to watch, and the way they're playing off each other is great, man. Coming at number 30 is Friday the 13th from 1980.
Jason should have been watched every minute. He wasn't a very good swimmer.
Camp Crystal Lake, Dead Counselors, and Mrs. Voorhees making it personal. This is slasher revenge and the one that launched a franchise. Well, I love Friday the 13th. I love the original, and I'm glad that a lot of people are coming around to this one for its sense of atmosphere. You won't get better camp atmosphere than the original Friday the 13th. Sure, the storytelling can be a muck, you know, where Mrs. Voorhees pops out of nowhere, but it somehow works. It works for me anyway, and I love her performance. She gets very little screen time, but she is so legendary, iconic, and effective. You know, Pamela Voorhees is so effective in this movie, and some of the greatest kills you get in the 80s. I love Marcy's kill in this. Marcy's kill in the axe in the head is just terrific, man. So I love Friday the 13th. Coming at number 26 is Maniac. Frank Zito's scalped happy rampage through New York City is sweaty, grimy, and genuinely disturbing. He's not cool, he's just horrifying. I really love Maniac. I love horror movies where they're about the killer, and this is a very disturbed human being here with big mother issues. He scalps these women, puts them on mannequins, and just how dark and macabre it goes. The practical effects are great. Tom Savini with the shotgun blast, the head explosion. Between that and Scanners, man, probably the two best head explosions of all time. But when he starts going into his own mind, when his mother comes out of the grave and all his victims come out and just tear him apart at the end, and how this is all just in his mind. That's what I mean by the dark and macabre of it all. I absolutely just love that. And I think Joe Spinell just puts in a disturbing performance here. Coming at number 25 is The Shining.
Here's Johnny.
Jack Torrance, The Overlook Hotel, Red Rum, Stanley Kubrick's slow burn descent into madness might be the most artful horror film of the decade. The Shining. Yes, The Shining made my list, guys. Now, it's probably higher on a lot of people's list. I've never been the biggest fan of this movie. Like, I still think it's good. I'm more of a Dr. Sleep fan. I think that made this movie actually a little better. This is kind of an art house horror. I'm not the biggest Kubrick fan, but man, can he shoot a film though. The cinematography in this, it is so haunting. It is so, the pacing is very slow, but it's almost hypnotic. The movie has this hypnotizing effect on you. Jack Nicholson as Jack Torrance is absolutely great in this movie. I prefer the character development of the book more. I don't get on board with Jack Nicholson's character because he just seems like an asshole right from the start. If we would have got like somewhat of a nice guy trying to do better for his family, then see him go down this dark path, I think that would have worked a lot better for me. So that's really the biggest issue I have for it. Other than that, I mean, this is a 4-star film for me, or in my case, a letter B grade. But I love, there's a lot of scary moments in The Shining. I do like a lot of it, what's going on, how crazy Jack Nicholson gets and all that. And watching this back and then Dr. Sleep is like a perfect double feature. Coming at number 24 is Silent Rage from 1982. Chuck Norris versus an indestructible killer created by science. It's part slasher, part action flick, and somehow it's awesome. I love Silent Rage. I'm a big action guru. I love Chuck Norris. And this is like if Lone Wolf McQuade met Halloween and they had a baby. You get Silent Rage. Chuck Norris kicking some ass, but you also get this killer that has been made through a science experiment, and he becomes like this Michael Myers-esque character. In fact, there's so many scenes that are just like Halloween, but the funny thing was, I watched this first as a kid. I would watch this probably 50 times before I ever watched Halloween. So I really never got that correlation. But, watching it now, oh my, you could see it, especially like when he shoots the guy. He even shoots him 6 times, I think, right out the window in this. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take Chuck Norris versus Michael Myers any day. Coming at number 17 is Creepshow. Five tales of horror, revenge, and comic book justice. Romero and King bring EC Comics to life with practical effects and dark humor. I absolutely love Creepshow. It's just one of those movies I watch every single year near Halloween, the month of October, and Creepshow 2. My favorite is the Something to Tide You Over, and I love Father's Day as well. This is just campy, good fun. Practical effects are just really, really hold up. There's something about the whole comic book aesthetic, the whole feel of this thing, this anthology, that just suits October and Halloween. Well, it does take place with our story there with the voodoo doll and the father giving the kid shit and everything. But you honestly, you won't have a better time than Creep Show. It's just really, really fun stuff. Kicking off at number 12 is Evil Dead 2. Ash battles demons, time loops, in his own hand. Raimi goes full cartoon here into a splatterfest in this horror comedy masterpiece. Evil Dead 2 is my movie, man. I prefer it way over than Evil Dead 1 because I think Evil Dead 1 is trying to be scary, but it's also hilarious at the same time to me. So I feel like they didn't get that balance where here, you know, they said, let's go full on spoofy, campy, bloody, but make it horrifying. Bruce Campbell gives a hell of a physical performance. And the way this movie is getting into him physically and psychologically, right? Like it's fucking with his mind and it's physically attacking him. He just goes through a blood-soaked field nightmare. This movie really taught us that you can be funny and horrifying all in the same breath. Just love it. Coming at number 11 is Cujo from 1983. A rabid dog traps a mother and son in a hot car. No supernatural force, just heat, fear, and desperation. Well, you all know Cujo is just one of my favorite horror movies of the 80s, one of my favorite horror films. This movie is just primal fear going on something that could really happen to you. And you know, it does rely a lot on that third act, but I like the whole movie, honestly. Dee Wallace at the end here, protecting her son, going through it all, man. She really, really sells the horror and the terror and really brings that realism to life. We're at our top 3 now, and at number 3 is The Fly. A scientist's teleportation experiment turns into a slow, tragic transformation into a monster. Body horror at its peak. Oh man, I love The Fly, man. Cronenberg is just not trying to gross you out. He makes you feel everything too. This is a tragic love story. That's what this is. And with all the body horror, Jeff Goldblum, scientist, he turns into this human fly. And then Gina Davis's reactions as the love interest and what she has to do at the end. It's just tragic, man. Just tragic. And there's so much great dialogue in this movie. I love the speech so much about insect politics he gives. And I just love how he knows he's turning into this fly, but he's not turning into this physically. It's like mentally, it's in his DNA. It's all fused, like the way he's thinking. He's like, I want you to leave because I'll hurt you. Insects don't have politics. They are very brutal and just there to survive. You know what I mean? So it's just a transformation. It's all that transformation stuff happening and the practical effects. And it's just sad, man. It's just such a sad movie at the end. Coming at number 2 is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Clear.
In Antarctica, paranoia spreads faster than the alien hiding among them. Carpenter's bleak, frozen masterpiece still shocks. Well, you guys know I love The Thing. Absolutely love this movie. Just a raw tension, gross effects, awesome practical effects ever put on the screen. And just the paranoia that infuses in everyone in this, just the trust issues and everything. I've talked about this movie so many times, guys, I feel like. So The Thing is just, it's a fantastic movie as a kid. If you look at this movie from when it was made all the way to now, it just has legs. It holds up. It bombed when it first come out. People hated it, the reviews. Now it's like it's always on a top 5 horror films of all time for most people that I've seen anyway. People just adore this movie, and rightly so. This is John Carpenter's true masterpiece, in my opinion. But coming at number 1, the best horror film of the 1980s for me is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger haunts your dreams, and if he kills you in your sleep, you're dead for real. Wes Craven turned the slasher genre upside down with imagination and terror. Again, another one I talk about way too much, but I love it. A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is Freddy at his scariest. This in part 2, I would say Freddy at his scariest. I love the look of Freddy here. I love the concept. What if you fell asleep and there's a dream demon stalking you? And if he killed you in your dream, you're dead in real life. That's just scary. We all have to sleep. There's something to say, too, about the sins of the parents. This parents doing this awful act to somebody. And, you know, him taking the revenge out on their children. Inventive kills, surreal visuals, and a killer with a personality. That's what I love. I like how he bathes in it. I like how Freddy Krueger just loves terrifying these children. He just, and when he holds off going for the kill, he just loves scaring them and loves to kill so much and just bathes in just terrifying people. And that's a different villain than Michael or Jason or Chuck. Well, Chucky's kind of like that too, but Michael and Jason are separate. Freddy just, it's the crown jewel of horror. Man. Freddy just loves what he's doing here. Right? It's so sadistic and it's creepy and that for that, right? And one of the best scores too, if we're talking scores, right? Nightmare on Elm Street did such a good job on the score. It literally will raise my blood pressure. It just gets to you. You know what I mean? But Nightmare on Elm Street is an absolute horror classic with one of the best final girls ever too in Nancy. That is it, guys. That is my top 50 horror films from the 1980s. What is yours? Let me know in the comments. You can show me 50, 10, 25, whatever you want. This was a great discussion, all that. So let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. And we got a lot more spooky stuff coming for October, guys. So my name is Jason. You've been watching Backtrack Cinema. I'll see you next time, and I'll see you in the movies. Cheers.